Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome to this Blitz chess postmortem, a postmortem of my Blitz game number 409. I was white here, kicked off with d4, and we got into a Queen's Gambit declined after c4 and e6. So I play the normal move here, knight c3, putting a little more pressure on the center. He responds with knight f6, defending, and I develop normally with knight f3. Sometimes, for the sake of simplicity, I play with move e3. That's actually the move I most commonly play, but knight f3 is actually the main line. It just can get a bit tricky at times. My opponent plays the Ragozin variation, which is bishop to b4, sort of a hybrid between the Queen's Gambit and the Nimzo-Indian, and not a bad way to play at all. I respond with bishop g5, which is one of the top moves. The other way to play it is to take immediately. Well, anyway, this is the move I chose. The thing is, this pawn is a bit loose now, and after h6, you're sort of committed to giving up the bishop. If you just retreat the bishop here to h4, he's going to take the c-pawn, and you'll have to waste some moves recapturing it. It's not the end of the world, but it gives up some advantage. So you take, and then the normal move is to retake with the queen. And after that, it should be an okay game for both sides. Slight edge to white, like a lot of openings, but nothing spectacular. But after g takes f6, well, we're out of the opening book, so we can look at this. Black has suffered some pawn damage for no particular reason. I mean, he does have an open g file, so maybe he has ideas of attacking. But, this is long-term a weakness that white can try and exploit. So I just go with e3, protecting the pawn. So the exchange here bought a tempo, and now I have time to protect this pawn. He goes knight to c6. I go a3, kicking the bishop, trying to clarify the situation over here. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and bishop d7. So I keep an edge through most of this part of the game. C takes d5, I guess, is okay. Yeah, this was very attractive to play because now look at his pawns. He's got these doubled pawns here that are isolated. He's got an isolated pawn here. And this pawn is not isolated, but it is weak because the knight is on c6, blocking the c-pawn from defending it. So a very attractive position for white. I have a smooth pawn structure here, easy development plans. I am maybe a bit behind in development, but where is black going to castle? So he does have to worry about his king position here. Anyway, I continue with the bishop d3. Goes queen e7. And now a4. I was thinking of posting or getting some activity going on the queen side. I probably should have just castled there. Something looks like a4. Yeah, castling or queen b3 right away. Yeah, a4 is not the most precise move. I guess what I was really thinking was I wanted to liberate my rook and put it on the b file. So place the pawn up there. But a bit of a wasted tempo, I think. He castles, my opponent castles queenside. And I put my rook on b1. Yeah, so that was my plan. And I'm going to bring my queen over here. So it's just a little bit slower than other plans. He goes knight a5. Knight d2, and you see my advantage has diminished a bit. But, now his king is on the queen side here, and so I'm migrating my pieces over there, and I'm going to push the c-pawn forward. I need to castle to safety at some point also to connect my rooks, which I'll probably do that in a few moves. He places his rook here, attacking my g-pawn, and I just play g3 to block the rook for now. Bishop to g4, and queen to c2. So it didn't hurt me too much to get my queen out there, although his knight is controlling the b3 square, which is a bit annoying. I would have preferred to go queen b3. And but I guess I have to get rid of this knight somehow if I'm going to attack on on b7 there. So maybe queen to b2 and knight to c3 is an idea to make progress. But he plays queen a3, bringing his queen over here to the queen side to make trouble, I guess, and try and hold on to some things. I guess already rook b5 looks like a strong move. I went ahead and castled here. I thought it's time to connect the rooks. Yeah, not a bad move. Okay, bishop to h3, hitting the rook, and rook over to the c file. So I have managed to keep my edge here. I guess this queen, it looks active, but it's not doing enough to really justify its position there. But it still takes quite a bit of maneuvering to improve and break through. So the game goes on for a while. He drops his queen back to d6. play bishop f5 check, trading off the bishops. Maybe better is to push on with c4 immediately. Yeah, I guess in a way this bishop is out of play. I was thinking I wanted to control this diagonal because I didn't see much happening on the b file with his knight here. But pushing on with c4 looks like that's a strong way to play. Okay, so not as good, but still keeping an edge. Is this exchange here? And king goes to b8. And then rook to b5 now, putting pressure on this knight. And he goes rook to g5, an interesting counterattack on my queen. I just dropped the queen back. A queen b1 might have been even stronger. But I wanted to put the rook on b1, I think. So he goes knight c4. And I just decided to exchange off this defender, d takes, and double my rooks on the b file. So now he takes. But I can bring my queen into the game here. But he goes queen a6 once again. Cancel that. Oh, we went this way, queen a6, defending the b pawn. So he's still seemingly holding on to things. I go queen a2. I didn't want to give up this pawn. Rook d6. So I'm still struggling to figure out how to break through here, but making some progress. I at least pick up a pawn with this queen a2 maneuver, defended my pawn and attacked his pawn, and he didn't. Could he have defended it? Yeah, he could have played queen to c6 and defended the pawn. Although it's not clear that that's so great. Queen c6, rook h5. It looks like, I mean, the other thing I can attack in this position, which is probably correct. If he defends everything on the queen side, I can start going after the king side pawns that are weak over here. And if he defends here, rook to c5. Okay, so I can pick up a pawn anyway. It's interesting little maneuvers, but all these weaknesses, you can just sort of shift your focus from one to another and eventually pick up some material. So one way or another, white is going to end up with a material advantage. He played rook d6, and I grabbed immediately on c4. So now I have at least a pawn for my trouble, and but I'm still wanting to break through with the attack. So he plays b6 to try and fortify his king position, but it cuts off his queen and his rook from each other. Okay, no, he didn't have any particularly great move there, so most things are losing. I can push my pawn on to break things up, but he has this neat trick here. Rook takes c3, and after that it's not so clear. This was black's last chance to get more or less an equal position. Rook takes c3. It's kind of a nice tactic, you know. I take it, and he takes my rook, and I take here. And if we count the material, it's even. And well, he still has some weaknesses I can attack, but with just the queens on the board, there's lots of opportunities for black to get into drawing lines. And yeah, the engine is now thinking it's pretty much even. So I gave him a shot there with this slightly early push of the a pawn. I definitely want to push there and break through. So instead of a5, I should push on with the c pawn, get away from that tactic. With the rook securely supported by two different pawns, I don't have to worry about him playing these tactics on my queen, because I can safely take his rook, and my rook will be defended by one pawn or the other. So that gives me a way to break through without falling victim to this tactic. So a5 was a blunder here, which would allow him to equalize. But he played rook d6 here, and I think now the attack rolls through. So I exchange, start pushing the c pawn forward. He gets his king over to the a file, and now I'm threatening just to put my rook here and skewer the king and the queen. There's also the threat of c5 there, forking his rook and disrupting the pawns over here around the king. He throws in a check. This doesn't help at all. In fact, after I move my king, there's no way to escape. There's this fork here that'll win the queen, or if the queen retreats, which is what he plays, then there's the pin, which also wins the queen. So he resigned at this point. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Some nice little tactics there, and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye.